It's time to master your mindset with Kelsey Thornton, Jessica Paluzak, and Black Diamond Denise Walsh.
Good morning, you guys. How are you guys doing today? Are you super excited to be in Michigan in October? We have really pretty leaves a few months out of the year. Well, my name is Denise Walsh, and I am a Black Diamond leader here with It Works. And I have been on this journey for 11 and a half years. And today we are going to talk about my seriously favorite topic, because you're going to learn all day long about what to do. You're going to learn what to say. You're going to learn how to blitz, how to do a party, how to do social media. You're going to learn the stuff, right? But if your mind's not right, the stuff doesn't even matter. In this business, we know it's 80% mindset. 80% mindset. And so for right now, and this is something that can be learned, something that can be grown, and a choice you can make each and every day. So if you think about yourself right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you to just rate yourself. How confident are you in your leadership skills, in networking, in sales, in connection, and all of the pieces of our business? How confident are you? And I can tell you, when I started over a decade ago, I would say I was like a 4. I wasn't very good. I would take Confianza on the way to parties. I would listen to Eye of the Tiger. I would listen to Cammy's videos over and over and over again. And I would listen to Dr. Don, and I'd throw skin like he has for 10 years. I just listened, and I learned, and I duplicated, and I grew. This is something that you can too. So we've got 2 ladies here that have incredible self-development, business busting, breaking through their own personal glass ceiling stories, and I'm excited for you to hear from them today. So first off, Kelsey.
Hi guys! I'm so excited to be up here today. I've always believed that this business is so much mindset. And so when I got started in this business 3.5 years ago, all I wanted was $500, which I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. I actually knew I wanted more, but I was scared to say it out loud. And I know probably some of you are like, well, if I say I want $2,000 a month and it doesn't happen, then I'm gonna be disappointed. And so I joined for $500. I talked to Aaron Tweed, who's my enroller, and I love the fact that we have products nobody else has. I love the fact that everything's reasonably priced, and I love the fact that it was a debt-free, Christian-based company. But that moment before that just caused me to join was simply a moment, okay? All it took was me driving through this really nice area of Indianapolis, and I was like, who lives in these houses? Have you ever driven through like a really nice area and you're like, well, how can I live there? And the thing with me is I was never scared of the hard work. I just didn't know where that work was gonna pay me the money that I knew I was worth. And so I ended up, you know, just talking to my husband, and he was like, I just feel like everybody has a side hustle. And I was like, yeah, me too, maybe that's it. And then I read this article, it says the average millionaire has 7 sources of income. And I was like, okay, I do need a side hustle, thanks for the confirmation. And so when, you know, I joined, I didn't know anything, you know, but I knew what I wanted. And I know that I would rather ask God for a lot and get half of it than ask for a little and get all of it. Okay, and so for me, you know, it is a muscle, right? It's a muscle that you have to teach yourself. Like, it's okay to ask for more. You can be worthy of more. And so when I just got started, I just took off and I had no idea what I was doing, but you guys, nothing great has ever happened without enthusiasm. And so if you are not excited about this business, it is going to be so hard for other people to get excited about this business. And so I was just excited. I don't even know if I was saying things that were compliant. I was just saying like, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. It makes you skinny and you just put this wrap on. And like people were like, okay, but she's so excited. But the important thing about that is like, I knew that at the end of the day, what was my alternative? When it got hard, I knew what was my alternative, to go back to a life that I didn't really want and that I was running from in the first place. And it wasn't that my life was necessarily horrible, you guys. It doesn't have to be that way. It just has to be you know something deeper and you're worthy of more.
So I have a question for you, because I think the honeymoon stage of the business is really fun. Any honeymoon, right?
Yep.
And then you have your first funk. And I like to say your first funk is the deepest. If you have listened to, what is it, Jump Your Funk on YouTube by Mike Patillo, that was a really, really good thing for me to listen to at the beginning of my business, because I realized it was just a part of the ride. Those ups and downs, it's like a roller coaster, but the more you go through it, they become speed bumps instead of stop signs. So tell us how you grew through your biggest obstacle or your first funk.
Yeah, so gosh, there's so much you can say about obstacles because they just make you who you are. But my biggest thing is just to expect the bumps, you guys. If you're driving and you don't expect a speed bump and you hit it, it's horrible for your car, right? Like your bangs, everything in the trunk flies up. And it's the same thing with this business. If you don't expect that you're going to hit some road bumps and you expect it to just be this, it's going to be hard and it's going to hurt when that happens. But when you know this is a journey and you have that long-term mindset of this is a process and I can grow through this process, what is God trying to teach me in this moment, then you can slow down for the speed bumps, you can expect them, and they can come with a lot more ease.
And I think one of the ways you prepare for them is by personal development. So when you hit them, you have the tools in your toolkit to reframe your mind, to choose faith every time, to do something different. So what books do you listen to? What are your favorite things to refer to your team? And how do you spend time every day making this a priority?
So the book Secrets of a Millionaire Mind really helped me develop this. And I was sorry to my team who's here because I was literally just talking to them about this last night. So the thing that was probably the biggest aha moment for me in the book is when he talked about being bigger than your problems. And he says, if you are, like, let's say you're a level 6 person and you have a level 8 problem, right? That problem, you're looking up at it and it looks so big. And it can take you a long time to deal with that problem. But if you grow yourself, let's say, to a level 8 person, and you're looking that problem right in the eye, and it's an issue and something that you have to deal with, but if you grow yourself to a level 10 person, then guess what? That you're looking down at that problem, and that's not even a problem anymore. It's just something you have to deal with and you have to handle. And so for me, my goal is to always be bigger than my problems. So, if I'm having the worst day ever, like, I'm changing a diaper and I step on poop and it's like 1 minute into the morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, the old me would have said, oh, this is just going to be a horrible day, and then my keys would have got locked in my car and then all this stuff would have happened. But now it's just like, not today, devil, not today, And so I just don't, I let those moments be those moments, but I don't let those moments turn into days or hours or weeks or months. And so it's not that we up here don't have the mind issues or whatever. It's just that we know what to do with them when they come. And that's what self-development will teach you, is that when you do have those issues or, something negative that comes into your mind, I heard at a leadership retreat, if you feel or hear a thought in your mind, just picture it going into this little black box, turning the key, locking it, and throwing away the key. And this whole last month when I was going for a promotion, I was like, that's what I did every single time. Every single time doubt crept in, I just imagined this thought like running through my mind and then putting it in the box and locking the key and then moving on to something else. And so just know that we all deal with that stuff too. This is not like, we're not immune to it because of self-development. We have it and then we just let it go.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. All right, so next up is Jess.
Hi guys, I'm Jess Paluzak. I'm 31 years old. Presidential Diamond from Pennsylvania. And before It Works, I was living paycheck to paycheck. My husband and I were barely getting by, deferring his school loans. And we joined for an extra $300 to $500 extra a month. And, I fell in love with the products. One of the main reasons I joined was because after having my 2 kids, I couldn't lose my tummy, so I wanted to try a wrap. I saw amazing results, and I just fell in love, and I jumped right in. So I went Ruby pretty quickly, and from there, I was in the company for a year, and at that point, I was making $500 extra a month, but my upline actually started leaving. And I started questioning things, and I was like, wait a minute, am I in the right business? So I actually decided to leave. So I'm gonna get real and raw here. I left It Works at my year mark, and I actually tried out 3 other companies. And something I realized was nothing compares to It Works. You know, the culture we have, the CEO, the corporate staff, the friendships, the fun, the freedom, just everything does not compare. Like, it doesn't compare. So don't even try it. You know, I always say, you may think the grass is greener on the other side, but the grass is greener where you guys water it. So you have to have that mindset for sure. So at that point, I came back. I did a 90-day run, my first ever 90-day run. And I hit diamond and double within 75 days, and it was my mind shift, 100%. You know, I started using the products again because I stopped, and I just locked arms with my team. And it's crazy because you're going to have ups and downs. Success isn't a straight line up at all. So when, actually last year, I hit triple diamond, so I'm gonna get in real and raw again. So I hit triple diamond, and the doubt started creeping in again, and I started, you know, feeling unworthy. I started comparing myself. I started looking left and right, and at that moment, we went to conference. Who was at conference with Mark? The Dark Horse Story. That spoke life into us, and so we were, last year, we came to conference, highest paid rank is triple diamonds. We were being paid as emeralds, okay? Our check dropped down to $633. And it was because our mind shifted. And I didn't feel worthy, and I wasn't leading my team, and, you know, all that stuff. So when Mark told the story, I looked at my husband, and I was like, we are worthy. And we just locked arms, and we just started to run, and we just started to focus on our team who were motivated and wanted this with us. And it's crazy. So we started to, you know, implement self-development every single day. I started using the products every day. I lost 20 pounds in 3 months. Yes. And I started to pray every day, something I wasn't doing. So I started implementing all these new things, and I just mastered my mind. And it's crazy because we just hit presidential in August. So we went from earning $633 in January to August, get this, with my paycheck, my fast starts, and my husband's, $30,000. Okay? And that was in 7 months. And it was just our mind that shifted. And that was it. And it's just been an awesome journey.
Well, and here's what you need to hear is we go through ups and downs too. We have our own roller coaster ride. We're comparing ourselves. We're wondering, are we good enough? We're asking ourselves all of the same questions, but then we use the personal development tools. We get back in our prayer room. We get back in our journal. We put audible in our ear. We're listening to podcasts all day long because it's our job to get to a 10. It's our job to stay personally developed. It's our job to continue to learn and grow because that's how we pour back into our team. And I heard Melody McFarland say this one time. I asked her, I said, Melody, you've been in forever. Like, how do you stay so excited? And we were at Dash. This is a small, intimate group, and I'm expecting her to just be like, you know. And she said, it's a choice. Every day, it's a choice. And every day, we get to choose if we spend time in the Word, if we journal, if we listen to what we put into our ears, what music we're listening to, because that makes a difference in our heart and in our mind. And we know you can do all the right things, but if you're not being, and if you don't believe what you really want can happen for you, then it won't. So I've got one last question, and then I'm going to share a bit about my story. But when you have, how do you duplicate personal development within your team? What is one thing that you do if it's a new distributor or when a team comes to you and they're in a funk to help flip the switch for them?
A lot of times when people come to me and they're like, okay, like, I need help. Maybe they're in a funk, or they're like, okay, I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything, but I'm just not signing. Or I can sign customers, but I can't sign distributors, right? Normally, the first thing I'll ask is, are you doing personal development? And 90% of the time, the answer is no. And if it's the other 10%, they've lost some spark. And to me, when that happens, I feel like there is a loss of vision. And that happens when you can no longer see anything other than what's right in front of your face. Well, I have this bill to pay, or I have this to do, and you're not looking at this business as a process. This business it's not about what you accomplish, it's about who you become, right? And to me, Pam Souter says the paycheck, it's like an adult report card. And it teaches you, like, am I heading in the right direction? Am I going to do those things like that I told myself I was going to do? And so, if you haven't read The Last Arrow, that's also an amazing book. But he talks about, like, saving nothing for your next life. And so I just talk to people about, what do you want? And I think that that's, like, the biggest question that you have to ask yourself first. And implementing that with your team starts with being able to lead yourself. When you lead yourself, you're going to be able to lead other people. So save nothing for the last life, and don't be afraid to ask those questions.
Okay, so for me, we have built a very local team. And that's one thing that we strive on, is building the friendships and having people to count on, to keep each other motivated. So we get together on a weekly basis and we feed into each other. So obviously self-development is one of those things that we definitely implement. If it's either an audio or if it's the YouTube, like The Strangest Secret, got that from you, that's absolutely amazing. That's something that we're doing every single day. So you just have to make it every single day, being consistent. GoPro by Eric Worre, that was a huge one that really shifted in our business. And yet the power of a half hour, that was a big one as well. So
awesome. Yeah. Write these books down, because us telling you about it won't change your business. You doing it will change your business.
There's a quote that says, ideas make sense, execution makes money.
Mic drop. All right, well, I'm going to share with you a little bit about my story, because I've grown myself in this business for over a decade. And I'm so grateful that this business gives us a space to do that, with other people who are cheering us on, holding each other accountable, doing book clubs together, asking you, like, all right, what is it that you want? We don't get this at a normal job. Does anybody? I didn't. Yeah, so the culture that this company has created is a space for us to grow. We've got to use this to our advantage. So at the beginning of my business, I would run and listen to Tony Robbins all the time. And I can tell you, when you're listening or reading at least a book a month for a decade, you have libraries in your head. And so I would listen to Tony Robbins, anything by Jack Canfield, Joel Osteen, John Maxwell. The Power of I Am by Joel Osteen was a huge one for me. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale is on YouTube. It's free. I listened to that every day for 30 days during our Black Diamond run. And those are the things that are going to get you through the next hump faster. So I want to share with you a little bit about my war room. And this is when I get cry. Okay. So here's the deal. The year that we went Black Diamond was not an easy year. We actually had the most haters in our that we've ever had since and before, and it just, isn't that interesting? That one of the toughest life years and one of the toughest business years was the year that we went Black Diamond. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think I had to grow through that. I think somebody didn't want me to have this stage. I think that the devil comes right before your next breakthrough, and you have a choice to make each and every day. So throughout our 3-year run, because we tried to go Black Diamond for 3 years, understand, okay? This is not like a second thing. It took us a year to go Diamond, 5 years to go Ambassador, 3 more years to go Black Diamond, so 8 years in the company, we were Black Diamond. But what I created that last year was what I called my war room. It was when the War Room, the movie, came out, and I was like, I have extra bedrooms and they have closets, so I created a war room in my extra bedroom downstairs closet. It had like a shelf on it, so I put a chair, and I could write, I could speak, I could cry, I could talk, I could journal, and I could tape everything up and not worry about anybody listening to me or my children finding it or anything. And I could just be in this war room and I could wrestle. And what I did in this space is that I did not look at my current circumstance. I did not look at the cloudiness that was in front of me. What I did is I said, thank you for my team of people that are bringing this into fruition. Thank you for... And what I chose to do in that moment is see myself 3 steps ahead and thank God for it. Now, I want you to know I was not living it. Like, my life outside of the war room was cloudy and hard and tearful. But in that war room, I claimed something different. And in that war room, every single morning, something shifted. Something shifted in me, something shifted in my family and our team and our dynamics, and momentum was created. But I don't think it was on accident. And I don't think it would have happened if I hadn't mastered my mindset and chose faith each and every day. And so wherever you are right now, just like Kelsey mentioned, if your spark is down or you're having a funk, that's okay. That's just part of the journey. What the question to ask yourself now is, what do I want? And where do I want to be in the next year, the next 3 years? Where am I 3 steps ahead of myself? And then speak life into that. Woo! And I can tell you, I have seen transformation, I have seen breakthrough, I have seen change, and it can happen for you too, but it starts by mastering your mindset. Can you give these ladies a big hand? Thank you.